minutes, 95 to downtown. I-57, 23 minutes, I-80 to the merge Bishop Ford, 25. Now, tri-state delays are from the 83rd Street toll to 75th, from the Stevenson to 47th, and from the Reagan toll at Lawrence. It's about Reagan tollway slow going Winfield to Yackley. I'm Jim Calamonte on AM 560 The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. In our 1-hour heating and air conditioning weather center, we're seeing not as cold today. Times of sun and clouds and a high of 36. Currently 21. Next news at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560 The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by In the Know with Wealth Management Group, hosted by Craig Bolanos. Heard Sunday mornings at 10.
Let freedom ring this afternoon at 2 with Sean Hannity on AM 560 The Answer.
All right, taking another break from impeachment. We've been at it for a long, how many hours? 3.5 hours straight? Taking a few breaks along the way.
Today?
Talking about impeachment and what's next. And
to add to our 16 hours yesterday of watching
exactly.
this. Although I was fast-forwarding through, like, the Democrats.
Well, I enjoyed both because, it got a little crazy when they talked about Jesus, baby Jesus.
Before you take this historic vote today, 1 week before Christmas, I want you to keep this in mind. When Jesus was falsely accused of treason, Pontius Pilate gave Jesus the opportunity to face his accusers. During that sham trial, Pontius Pilate afforded more rights to Jesus than the Democrats have afforded this president in this process. I yield back.
Amen!
And then that parlayed into talks about slavery. Here's Hakeem Jeffries, who pushed back on impeachment being divisive, similar to how slavery once divided the nation.
There are some who cynically argue that the impeachment of this president will further divide an already fractured union. But there is a difference between division and clarification. Slavery once divided the nation, but emancipators rose up to clarify that all men are created equally. Suffrage once divided the nation, but women rose up to clarify that all voices must be heard in our democracy.
And you know who enjoyed yesterday probably the most? Congressman Stephen King from Iowa. You know why? Because he's been taken off of every committee. He's seriously sitting in his congressional office with construction paper and crayons.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I thank the gentleman for yielding. And I start out first that this is the largest, most massive cover-up of such a list of crimes against our country. And to go so far as to bring impeachment hearings to try to cover all of this up. And I would take you back to October of 2015 when Barack Obama said Hillary Clinton would never intend to jeopardize our national security. Again, the following April, the next.
So he enjoyed the time in the spotlight.
Yeah, right. You don't want Steve King on your side.
No. And President Trump hit back with brilliantly planned a rally in Michigan during the same time that they were voting on the articles of impeachment.
You are the ones interfering in America's elections. You are the ones subverting America's democracy. We did nothing wrong.
Yes, you did. You did something wrong.
But not something that rises to high crimes and misdemeanors.
Right.
He withheld the funds because he was a new president of Ukraine, and he wasn't just going to give him millions of dollars.
And he asked them to investigate the one guy who can beat him. Look, it doesn't pass the smell test. I'm from Chicago. You can't fool me.
Yeah, but you're still a Trump supporter.
Actually, I'm from the suburbs, and you can fool me.
Yeah, you haven't lived in the cities, how long?
Since 1958.
You moved out of Chicago in 1958?
Yeah.
Wow, and you lived in the burbs ever since.
Mm-hmm.
And now you live near the border of Wisconsin. All right, with more on this, and then this new red flag law that's taking place in Nevada.
What is a red flag law?
Well, we'll start there, but first I want to welcome to the program. This is her first time on, Bruce, so be nice.
Okay.
Julie Chen Hereford. She is with the group Nevadacans. It's a citizen action network, and of course, she's a Republican. Good morning, Julie. How are you?
I'm good, Amy. How are you?
Good. So what did you think yesterday of the impeachment circus before we get to this other issue?
Well, it's very much like what we're fighting for here in Nevada on the red flag law about the Constitution. The Democrats have actually made a circus out of the Constitution, yet many of them swear that they are trying to protect and carry out the Constitution. It is total hypocrisy.
Okay. So let's talk about this red flag law. As Bruce just said, he doesn't know what the red flag.
Well, actually, I do know
what the red flag gun law is. Can you explain it to us?
Well, this red flag law, like Judge Napolitano said, the concept of the red flag law, which permits the confiscation of lawfully owned weapons from a person because of what the person might do, violates both the of innocence and the due process requirement of proof of criminal behavior before our personal liberty can be infringed.
It's a gun control law that permits police or family members to petition a state court to order the temporary removal of firearms from a person who may present a danger to others or themselves. And, of course, this is fraught with
here's
problems,
the deal.
But
here's the deal. If I'm having an argument with, say, my neighbor, I could go and petition the court to say my neighbor's crazy, he's mentally, he's unstable, and he doesn't know that I'm there doing that, and he doesn't have a right really to fight back, right, Julie? Or how would it work?
Exactly. There's no hearing. There's no warning ahead of time. The police can just show up in your door and take your gun away. And you would have, it's on your own to have to prove that you're innocent. The whole flaw of this law is that you're proven guilty. I mean, you're guilty before you can prove you're innocent.
So the police actually, it depends on the way the red flag law is fashioned, although maybe they all are uniform. So the police are allowed to confiscate your weapon, and then you have to go to court. They don't go to court first, and it sounds like an ex parte hearing, but it can't be. They don't have to go to court first and try to take your gun away?
No. Okay. Someone filed this report. Right now in Nevada, it's so new, it hasn't been taking effect yet. And the effective date is January the 1st. Okay. That's why we filed the injunction.
Yeah. So when did you file the injunction?
Weeks ago, on December the 5th.
Okay.
So to prevent the law become effective.
But don't you see any good in this red flag gun law? I mean, we have it here, too, in Illinois. Because, if you look at all the mass shootings, most of the mass shooters, they do suffer from some mental illness. And we have to keep guns out of the hands, I believe, of the mentally ill.
Right. The intention of the red flag law may sound pretty reasonable, but the execution of this law is seriously flawed and unconstitutional. Yes, you can cure a problem, but you cannot create a lot of other problems before you can even cure this problem. And there is no proof that this law is going to help solve any of the mass shooting problem that happened before.
Well, so far the evidence is inconclusive on the limited exposure we've had to red flag laws. The first one was enacted by Connecticut in 1999. And
that
the Washington
Post, they survived legal challenges, Connecticut and Florida.
Yeah, the Washington Post reported that California's red flag went basically unused for 2 years after its passage in 2016. So I don't know if it's actually been tried or enforced very much, so we don't know how effective it might be.
But in your lawsuit, in your injunction that you're seeking, you blame out-of-state interests. Can you explain that?
Yes, we have, during the legislative session we just had this past spring, from February to June, we attended many hearings, particularly for these couple gun control law. We had over 3,000 people write in a letter, either called or write in a letter, or testify in person. The other side that only have less than 10% of what we have, and they're organized under the Mom for Safety or different group, and they're organized by out-of-town group and funded by them. And whereas our people that showed up, that was totally citizen-based.
Mm-hmm.
And Illinois does have a red flag law.
Yes, we do.
Well know.
So what's the next process? When do you go back to court, or what happens?
We're waiting for the governor, who is the accused, to respond to our law.
Okay, to your lawsuit. All right. Well, thank you.
Right.
Yep. All right. Well, good luck to Julie Chen Hereford. She is with Nevadacans. Get it? Republicans, Nevadacans, which is a Citizens Action Network. Thank you so much, Julie, and happy holidays.
Same to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And she joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
If you're talking about it, Dan and Amy are talking about it. It's Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
A business needs to be built on a great foundation, one with the framework of integrity and tradition. Chapel Design Build delivers just that, providing design build and general contracting services using Butler Steel Building Systems. Their projects dot the landscape from O'Hare to DeKalb. You see their work in office and warehouse additions, recreational facilities, large-scale distribution centers, and manufacturing plants all over northern Illinois. Partnering with Butler Steel Buildings, Chapel Design Build has developed an extensive subcontractor base and valuable market knowledge to get your quality built project completed on time and on budget, ensuring your project is a success for your business and one that you will be proud of for years to come. The goal is to build lasting relationships with their clients using buildings that last from Butler. Get started on your next building project built with Butler Steel. Visit chapeldb.com. That's Chapel D as in design, B as in build.com.
Balance of nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
I really love this product. I feel like I never get sick. I work in a dental office. I'm a dental hygienist, and I'm always with a bunch of patients, always with a bunch of people. We have 60 employees in our office, front and back office.